cool.
We've got 22 seconds until we're in.
That's pretty cool. Oh, here we go.
10 seconds.
Okay.
And it's showtime. Look at that. Just as it goes. It's your boy, Riley Puddin Peters, coming to you live with the doctor, defensive backs quality control coach, Preston Rowe. Even with a little bit of slip, we're still tight. It's the Trash Talk Tailgate. This is not an NFL pre-show, of course, where me and Dr. Preston come together to go over what is usually wild and probably tumultuous and at least sad for one of us in most cases. NCAA Saturday, the day before. And this week it was fun. I saw this little video sitting up here. This is a highlight video from yesterday, just some of ESPN's compiled highlights. Let's give it a look. Figured you'd probably give us some cool stuff for some games you wouldn't watch. Not a Hail Mary. Eastern Michigan, more like Eastern Washington.
Damn.
I thought that was pretty good. Oh, here's an Oklahoma highlight. Something we never thought we'd see.
Yeah.
They have to be playing Maine for it to be happening. That's why is Oklahoma playing Maine?
I know, dude. I played Maine at Richmond. They were pretty good.
The Bears. Oh, hey, we were just talking about this team as right before the live stream started.
Yeah. NC State over Stanford.
I'm going to see this again. Dude, this is the best that NC State's run game has looked. That's a pretty good block. I mean, that dude whiffed for sure. So, great play by the running back here. This is all on him. Damn, this is really all on him. That's 2 breaks. That line didn't even really block that well. Guard that had the key block there fucking completely whiffed. So
it's true. It's Stanford, but that's still a really impressive run.
They cut the trees.
They did cut the trees. Duke,
this
Miami.
Is not the highlight that I thought was going to come from this game.
Oh,
this was a great fucking catch.
Yeah.
But that was not. There better be the other highlight because the other fucking thing that happened in this game was way better. Once again, sick catch. Just the other thing was crazy.
Going full Garrett Wilson.
Dude, full OBJ. Let's give the real man his respect.
Nah.
Imagine if Odell Beckham Jr. played soccer. That's a touchdown. That was also really funny to watch.
Damn. That's crazy.
Oh, and this was the absolute dam breaking touchdown from South Carolina that led them to a
Rocket Sanders. Run. Rocket Sanders.
All right. Honestly, you know what? That was nice. I enjoyed that. That was a fun little way to get it in.
That was a good way to kick it off, Riley. I enjoyed
that. Yeah. All right.
Oh,
as we get into the games, one of the things that we like to do is kind of go in a little bit of order, at least the order that ESPN gives it.
It's true.
A lot of times Friday games are neglected when it comes to talking about college football. I know the Saturday is obviously the big day, and it is the big day. Mm-hmm. But this Friday game definitely deserves a little bit of acknowledgement, mainly because I know Halloween's gone, but the spooky run of Austin Genty. I mean, this stuff. This man is Michael Myers in the backfield. I mean, he is 2-touch Tony. Let him find a crease and he will soar. And this is no disrespect to almost anybody on the list. This is my Heisman candidate.
Okay.
I got to say, I mean, the only person that feels anywhere close is Travis Hunter, and that's just because what he's doing is, freak of nature stuff.
Yeah. But Ashton Genty is also a freak of nature in a different way.
In a different way, and in a I don't even know what to say. In a record-breaking way, this man is doing stuff I mean, Barry Sanders, his rushing records are legendary. They're
Yes.
from the 80s, right? Am I right about way earlier?
Yeah, it's from 1988.
88. Cool. All right. I
Yeah.
was right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's held ever since. Honestly, not only is it held until a few weeks ago, no one thought we'd ever see it broken, to be honest. Maybe a passing record, but a rushing record in 2024? Nah, no one's doing that.
Riley.
In comes Boise State.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I mean, Riley, the dude, I don't know if you're on the Ashton Genty profile page. The dude has 1,500 yards rushing and 20 rushing touchdowns on 190 carries. He averages 8 yards a carry.
In the game, 8 yards a carry on the season, boys.
Yes.
That means this man, every time he totes the rock, it's almost a guaranteed first down.
Every 2 times he totes it, it is a first down.
Dude, every 2 times he totes it, it's almost 2 first downs.
I know.
Oh man, it's crazy. So
this
guy, it's crazy.
Is unreal. I mean,
he's had some great stat lines. Whereas obviously this is their opening week, but this stat line right here, 20 carries, 267 yards, and 6 touchdowns. That's a quarterback's throwing numbers on an amazing game. That's me playing running back in NCAA football 24 or 25. 24. Just to let everybody know just the astronomical numbers this dude's put up. But he's got 3 games over 200, 2 games besides the games over 200 that might as well be at 192 and 186. I mean, what are they? 5 and no, there's no way. What are they? What is Boise?
They're
State?
7-1. They're 7-1. Their only loss is to Oregon. And
which is fair, and they almost did it.
They almost upset Oregon.
And Oregon is at this point.
I think Oregon's the best team in the country right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it, but I didn't want to say it. I know it's coming. It's almost horse feed coming out of my mouth, but you
picked them to win the national championship. They look really, really good right now.
At the beginning of the season, it looks sketchy, but I think we've come back.
They've definitely improved a lot. I mean, Georgia didn't look good yesterday.
No.
I think it's Oregon. And this man almost single-handedly beat them.
Literally, dude. I mean, let's go. I'm going to go back into this stuff real quick. Let's go look at the game log. And beware, second game of the season. Oh, yeah. He almost put up, 192, 3 touchdowns on Oregon.
On Oregon.
In a game that was 37-34.
In Austin. It wasn't a home game for Boise. It was on the road.
Yeah, it wasn't in blue turf. He wasn't swimming. See, that's what I like to say, though. With this man, it really is like the boy is swimming. When he's on that blue turf and they're rocking. And I think there's another fun thing with him is the more carries you get, sometimes it actually seems like he's a lightning rod of a dude. I mean, a lot of these down here, it's if he's in the mid-20s in his carries, he's kind of doing his best. You have this 31 that's an outlier. But besides that, when he runs a lot, they're he actually this past game against San Diego State, at this point, every team that plays Boise State is just aiming for him. I mean, you
go into the game plan, you go into the game saying, hey, we're probably not going to slow him down or stop him, but we have to at least do something. We can't just let this man run hog wild on us.
In this case, I think Boise State or San Diego State did slow Boise State down.
Yeah.
But that's it. And just him, actually. They didn't even slow Boise State down. They slowed Ashton Genty down. And that leads us to the game from Friday. What a weave. It was a beautiful weave, a great weave, but we're back. We're back. And in this game, we got to see 31 carries for 150 yards, essentially, and 2 touchdowns out of Genty.
And that's a
Our
bad game
Heisman
for
hopeful.
him.
That's a bad game for him. A great game for everyone else. But we got to see Maddox Madison come out with 24 for 32, 307, and 4 touchdowns. So Boise State showing up and saying, hey, guys, guess what? We're not a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
This isn't the Ashton Genty show. This is a team. We're a team. And if you're going to beat us, you got to beat us and have fun.
I mean, they look like right now they are, the leading playoff contender from the group of 5. And honestly, I would pick Boise over Penn State right now. Like if they were to play right now, I think Boise State would beat Penn State. We'll talk about them later, but
we'll get there later. But I got to be real with you, dude.
This team is
seeing the way that they played Oregon.
Yeah.
And I think that they could still do it. I mean, I think if they played 5 times, the old adage is 10 times. I think if they played 10 times, I bet you it's like a 6-4 split with Oregon being the better team. I think Oregon is the better team between the two.
Yes.
But the way that Boise State and, Genty specifically counter kind of some of Oregon's weaknesses, I think they're an interesting team, an interesting matchup for them. But with that being said, I feel like that matchup also goes to just about everyone else. And it's like, I think they would do. I mean, I think they're a legit threat. I mean, them being ranked 15 is crazy just because they're from the, the group of 5 and, that group of 5 classic group of 5 disrespect. But that's a terrifying, terrifying team. If you're in a playoff, that's a rough team to be looking across.
Yeah. I really like this Boise State team. I think they're very much alive in the college football playoff race, and I think they could absolutely get somebody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every level of ball. All right. Moving on. Where
are we going next, Riley?
I mean, we're going to the big house
Big house. Okay.
We're gonna watch. I mean, this was kind of just a beat. I'm gonna throw this little video on while we start talking. Oregon is awesome. I mean, we were just talking about it. Pause for dramatic effect, as you can expect. But I mean, the Austin crew is ridiculous. I mean, that's just putting it simple.
They got the Phil Knight fuck you money.
They do. and they're using it, man. They're definitely using it. Dan Lanning is out there putting together dream squads like he's a coach and once again referencing EA's NCAA 25. I mean, he's creative playering all day long with all that Phil Knight money. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, this team.
No,
this team can do everything though, dude. It's crazy. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball. That Oregon offense, like that traditional tempo. This offensive line can keep up with the tempo, but at the same time, like when it comes to it, they can still bully people up front. Mm-hmm. It's very, very interesting the way that Dan Lanning has these boys playing, dude. It feels like they can do it all. And I feel like it's so dangerous when your base set for do it all is that spread.
But it's not just a spread because they run the ball.
Exactly.
Like it's a power spread. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
for sure. It's power spread, but it's like that. That oh my God, this play was hilarious, by the way. The security guard, someone needs to sign this fucking dude right now. The way he took this dude out.
Dude, that's a concussion right there.
No, on the real though, this camera, the way that this shit was filmed, it does really look like this dude in blue just took out this fucking player.
Yeah.
He hit the camera.
Yeah.
He never hit the camera. You got to
No.
stay away from the camera.
You gotta stay away from the camera.
All right.
Oh,
But I mean, Dylan Gabriel, obviously, you know, the Oklahoma transfer.
yes.
He comes in. I mean, big day out of him. One touchdown through the air. He had some running work that he had to get out of him. Got a touchdown on the ground. I mean, they got 4 touchdowns on the ground as a team. Just a big day from the Ducks, man. What'd you see?
I thought Oregon had a really good game plan going into this game because Michigan, in case you don't know, Michigan is one of the best defensive fronts in the country. They kind of struggle on offense, but their defense is still really good. And it all starts up front with their stud defensive tackle, Mason Graham. And Oregon really did a great job of taking him out of the game because they ran on the perimeter and they got him really tired. And then towards the end of the game, when he was tired from chasing all those perimeter runs, they just ran right at him. And I thought that was a great game plan. Oregon, like you said, dude, they can run the ball. Jordan James, 23 carries, 117 yards and a touchdown. Like that'll work.
That'll do it.
If you're Oregon, I think 2 things of concern. First of all, your star wide receiver, Tez Johnson, he went out with an injury. He came back in a sling. So, I'm not sure what that injury is going to be, but that might be significant moving forward. And then the other thing is Michigan really only has like one receiving threat, and that's their tight end, Colston Loveland.
Yeah.
And Oregon knew that going into the game, and yet they still gave up 7 catches for 112 yards. So that is a little bit of a concern for me, but I think overall, one of the things about college football this year is all these teams at the top, like even Georgia, Texas, Alabama, we've seen them play, and they all have flaws. Like they're obvious flaws. Like they're great teams, but they're obvious flaws. Oregon hasn't showed one yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, their offensive line was banged up at the beginning of the year, but that's cleaned up. They fixed it. They've gotten guys returned from injury. And it's just, if you look at their schedule, the teams that they play over the next few weeks are probably not going to be able to expose any potential flaws with this Oregon team. It's Maryland, at Wisconsin, and Washington. Now, Washington, that's a rivalry game, so throw everything out. But, Washington hasn't looked really good this year. So I feel like this Oregon team's just kind of going to continue to roll until the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you expect at this point. So,
yeah,
their big job is managing expectations and doing the best they can to get to the end of the season still undefeated.
Yep.
But they're looking good, man. It's a good looking squad right now.
Yeah, I think they are well deserving of the number 1 team in the country. They deserve it. They've played
Absolutely.
like it. Yep.
Yep. They back it up. Back up that 1.
Yeah.
Speaking of backing up your 1, let's talk about the 2s. We're going down to Jacksonville.
Oh no.
just to watch a young guy get absolutely broken. But yeah, no, we have the Georgia Bulldogs versus the Florida Gators. 34-20 is the final of this game, and I think this game is one where it's like the final score really isn't indicative of the game. I mean, it's only a 2-touchdown win, but
it was 20-20 at one point. Like it was tied.
It was 20-20 for a while. It was 20-27 for most of it.
Yeah.
Or not for most of it, but for like a good bit as well. And then like towards the end, Florida
scored again
Florida threw a terrible interception and they iced up on that, and that was pretty much the pin in it. And I mean, Georgia, dude, they're a great squad. I think this is the touchdown run after the interception.
Yeah.
This was there were so many interceptions in this game.
Keep in mind, this is Florida's third string quarterback. Because Graham Mertz is hurt. He was their starter at the beginning of the year. They put in DJ Lagway, their 5-star true freshman. He gets hurt, and he was playing well. Like, I don't think Florida would have won this game if Lagway doesn't get hurt, but it would have been interesting.
I don't know, man. But they were winning until he got hurt.
Yeah. I mean, and so this is their third string quarterback, and he played like a third stringer. I mean,
it's a real high school ball against Georgia. You just can't do that shit.
I mean,
and then just overpower them down the stretch.
But Riley, I think Florida, kind of played really, really well against this really talented and loaded Georgia team. But if you're Georgia, aren't you concerned about Carson Beck? Like, this dude just cannot stop turning the ball over.
It's definitely an issue.
Yeah.
You can't say it's not an issue.
Despite what Kirby Smart says.
Yeah, but there is something messed up with the fact that they keep winning. They've only lost one game, man. And that was an absolute, dogfight to say anything other than.
They almost came on Alabama's backs.
They did almost do it. And so, yes, obviously you don't want your quarterback throwing 3 picks. But when your quarterback is playing, doing his thing the way that Carson Beck is doing, in the end of games and the way that he's icing up, God, it's so hard to really want to mess with him because at least the product is working. It's a real bad conundrum. I can imagine being a coach for a player like Carson Beck is hard because you're getting the outcome you want. He is winning football, but he's obviously doing stuff wrong. But what happens if you tweak something that he's doing wrong and all of a sudden the boy can't win a football game?
I mean, I think I kind of disagree with you on that. I think a really great coach once said, "I will never accept anything in a loss or in a win that I wouldn't in a loss."
Yep.
And if Georgia had lost this game, we'd all be talking about how Carson Beck threw the game away.
But they didn't.
But still, that would have.
I get it, but
you still have to clean it up, though.
He does, and I'm not disagreeing. He definitely needs to clean it up. Yeah. But I can understand there's a conundrum of wanting to think, how do you clean it up? What do you give that kid to clean it up? What's the advice? What's the technique? Is it honestly, and this is half a joke and half not a joke. They need to get in touch with whoever the hell at LSU got that VR program that they taught Jaden Daniels to use.
Yeah.
I feel like that should be industry standard already, if it's not. Because I feel like a lot of times when you see quarterback troubles with a quarterback, it is that visualization stuff. It's the timing in a game. It's those moment decisions. And a program like that, I mean, we've seen what Jaden Daniels has been able to do in the NFL with the best of Georgia's athletes.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, it's just.
Anybody there for that joke? Come on. The best of Georgia's athletes. Just saying that the NFL is all Georgia players. Anyways.
Okay.
It's not that funny of a joke, but it was funny.
I mean, it'd be more funny if it was the Eagles, but I don't know of any Georgia players on the Commanders, to be honest.
I don't either, but it was just a joke that Georgia's usually so good that a lot of their players go to the league.
It went over my head, just like another Carson Beck pass.
Oh God! Into someone else's arms.
Oh no!
But, yeah, I mean, I think that's the real thing. Is what advice or how would you approach trying to work with Carson Beck?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious by now. And I'm sure the Georgia coaches see this because they get paid millions of dollars to to do this. If you pressure him, he just kind of goes deer in headlights sometimes, and he just like if you pressure him, he just legit just chucks it. Like, and he'll just chuck it right to the defender, like hit him right in the arms. And I don't think he sees it very well when you pressure him. So, I just think you really have to work with him. Like, hey, if you get pressure, these are the looks that we're thinking we're gonna get. We're gonna go here with the ball. We're gonna go here with the ball. Like you just always have to have hot reads ready. Get certain coverages that you think you're gonna see based on all the film. So I think that would be the best way to work with Carson Beck. I mean, it just honestly, Georgia's offense just kind of looks off. Like they've just kind of looked off all year. Ooh.
Yeah. Hey.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree, man. What up, Whitty, by the way? But yeah, we definitely, I mean, it is not ideal seeing Lagway get hurt. You know, that the difference between that offense pre and post Lagway was significant.
Yeah.
And Georgia, I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about as you come in here, man. Like the turnover game is the problem for Georgia, but
Yes.
I feel like there's got to be a very specific way you go at it. I think the summary for Dr. Preston is you got to scheme up quick plays to prevent quick plays with almost pre-identified targets, if I'm wrong, and work around the pressure that teams are giving them, because you definitely seen it in the past few weeks. The pressure is starting to ramp up. They're seeing this Carson Beck flaw around the NCAA, around the SEC, and if there's one place that you want to be or you don't want to be when your problem is pressure, is the SEC, because every single one of those defenses is full of monsters and killers.
Exactly.
All right.
I mean,
Riley,
he's thrown 7 interceptions in the last 4 games.
Yeah, no, it's
10 interceptions in the last 5 games. Like he's been a turnover machine the last few weeks, and it's just I get it. Georgia keeps on winning, but here's the thing. So they go to Ole Miss next. Yeah. They go to Oxford. If he plays like that, Ole Miss will probably beat them.
They'll do it, dude. That offense, Jackson Dart and them boys over there in Oxford, dude, them Rebs, they can put points up. If you give them the ball too many times, they'll put the points up better than Florida would.
You can't. I mean, it's a real problem.
It's a problem that's going to bite them at some point. They definitely. They've got to watch it. Like if they keep letting it go like this, I just figured I know the internet would be very curious in what a Division I college football coach, who also happened to be a quarterback before becoming a coach, would approach working with a guy like Carson Beck. I feel like the internet is now better for having that out there.
It's true.
And we're moving on because we're better for having talked about it. And now it's time to go to what you classified as the only football game this past Saturday.
Well, Riley, let me just say something about that.
Yeah.
So, isn't it crazy how college football works? Going into this week, we all said, "Oh, this is going to be a boring week. Oh, not much is going to happen. There's really only one game that we care about." Well, that's what college football does, dude. 7 ranked teams lost this week. 4 of them were to unranked opponents. That's just chaos of college football, bro. That's why I love it so much.
Dude, it's absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. Lots of sadness. I'm crying. Dr. Preston's crying. The bleach is being poured.
It is.
I'm asking him if he wants a double on the rocks, however he wants it. But to go back to where we're at, we have the Ohio State Buckeyes versus the Penn State Nittany Lions. Yep. This one was in Happy Valley.
Which is
Penn State came
in
undefeated. Yeah, now really sad Valley.
Maybe angry Valley too. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know,
Ask
man.
James
Maybe if
Franklin.
they take, I was gonna say if they take after the coach.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
But it's definitely. I mean, it's one of those things where, as we talk about James Franklin, might as well pull up him being angry.
it was after the game. Oh, I couldn't hear it.
I don't think the video you really could hear.
Is the volume all the way up? There we go. You hear? Weird.
I think James Franklin was so right to do what he did.
Really?
That's not even that bad. I mean, all he
he
said was, "If you're man enough to talk, I just want to know your name," and then the
Yeah.
dude walked away.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing, Riley, and this is my thing. So you're trying to teach your players discipline and you want your players to be disciplined, but you don't show any discipline yourself. So
He's
I
trying to
don't
be
think that's not a very good look. And I'm just
I mean, honestly, I see that as him trying to be a disciplinarian. You can tell that's a dude that spends his whole day like trying to keep a bunch of dudes in track. Because I mean, listen, in reality, that's just an asshat college kid.
yeah.
And he deals with asshat college kids all day long. And I think all he did was just instinctually be like, "What's your name? Talk to me." Like he would do the stuff that he would do to like a player or something like that that would do that exact same. He's like, "Hey, listen, you're gonna talk to me? Give me your name. What's your name? Let's talk." I don't know, man. Listen, there's a lot of emotion. That wasn't that bad. I was actually the way you were talking about it, I was expecting that to be way worse.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, that's really like, dude.
That's an interesting way to look at it. I didn't look at it that way, but that's
I mean,
interesting.
yeah, dude. He's a coach that deals with college. Like, this is a college kid being like, "Why do you run it on third down?" He didn't. I mean, honestly, I was expecting him some explicits. I'd have
Yeah.
told the kid to fuck himself. And I'd have said I'm the most disciplined dude in the world, just only telling him to fuck himself.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. There's a lot of emotion that goes in those moments. The fact that he was that cool after a heartbreaking loss at home with the whole world's pressure on his fucking shoulders.
Yeah.
I thought he was way more of a problem in his post game interview, and that still wasn't that bad. He was just kind of acting like a whiny bitch. I mean, he got it.
Yeah, I watched his post game. He was definitely. I mean, I get it. You're incredibly frustrated.
I do get it, yeah, but yeah, that I do get what you're saying, but I don't know, man. I don't see it as him being undisciplined. I see it as him honestly kind of being a disciplinarian. Like he is. That's what he is.
Yeah.
That's what head football coaches are at a certain level. You're like a warden. Oh, that's fucked up. I shouldn't have said that, but it is true. I mean, like you got to be. You're like a drill sergeant. Like you
That's
are.
fucked up.
It's fucked up, dude. I didn't even think about it, but I was saying it. I'll fucking. Here we go. But you're like a drill sergeant. You're someone that's in this position where you have people like to win college football games takes an extraordinary amount of discipline.
Yes.
That is a fact. Like to be
Yes.
a top level college football program, you need everyone on the same page. You need everyone to be disciplined. So, you don't have extra penalties, you don't have missed assignments, stuff like that. Everyone's got to be disciplined. And at that point, you're running an army. You are
Yeah.
keeping everyone in line. So, I think those are the perks of the job, getting to yell at some dumb college student. All right. But to the game.
Yeah.
To the game. This was, I mean, obviously a defensive battle. When you get a final score like 20-13,
Final score was 20-13. Yep.
you know how it is. You know what it is. This is just a bunch of we got no highlights. Come on, ESPN, you let me down.
What were your thoughts on this game, Riley? Because I have a lot of thoughts on this game.
Yeah. I mean, really, to me, like I was just saying, it was definitely a strong defensive battle. You see both these teams kind of just both these offense, which is coming in, relatively highly touted, and just to see them both kind of stagnated was impressive. But I know you'll definitely have the better hashtag copious notes for this one because
Oh, yeah.
I was trying not to cry while this game was being finished. So,
So if you're Penn State, this was what a lot of people thought was your best chance to finally get over this Ohio State hump because you haven't beat them since 2016, and that's also the last time you won the Big Ten. And now, if you're a Penn State fan, you're like, well, why should we ever believe that we're ever going to beat these guys? Because you were spotted a 10-0 lead. Will Howard, shout out to Will Howard. He finally was able to live out his dream of throwing a touchdown pass to a Penn State player.
hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. He throws an early pick six. And so honestly, dude, so the initial thought I had was Penn State, they get the ball first. They drive 14 plays. And it's a great drive. Drew Auer, he ran the read option to get a few first downs on that first drive, but they have to settle for a field goal. And like if you're a Penn State fan, you're like, damn, we drove all that way. We had such a beautiful, crisp drive, and we still couldn't punch it in the damn end zone. We had to settle for a field goal. And that just seemed like a bad omen. You get the pick six right after, and you go up 10-0. And, Happy Valley's going crazy. And, then after that, Ohio State went on a 20-3 run. They were just better than you, and they've always been better than you. But if you're a Penn State fan, the thing that you really have to be sick about is the fact that you had 3 drives in the red zone and you came away with 3 points. 2 of them were inside the 5-yard line, and you came away with 0 points. Riley, you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
They ran. So they finally get the ball to their star playmaker, tight end, kind of just Swiss Army knife, Tyler Warren, number 44. He led them in rushing.
Yeah.
And their running back, Nick Singleton, led them in receiving, which I thought was kind of funny. But you ran the same play on the goal line 3 straight times. Tyler Warren just broke off a very long run to get you in that position, and you proceed to not get him the football like the rest of that drive. When you need to punch it in, you don't get your best player the ball. You ran the ball 3 straight times, and it went nowhere on the goal line. And then on 4th down, not only do you go for it, but you throw a little play action pass, in which Ohio State read really well because on the broadcast they showed it. They were trying to hit Tyler Warren in the flat, but they had that shit double covered. They had out leveraged it. The safety broke on the outside, and you also had an inside leverage to player. So he's double covered. But then, so you're like, okay, we're not going to throw it into double coverage. That'd be stupid. So instead, let's throw it into the end zone to a receiver who has 4 guys on him.
You got to make choices.
I mean, and I know it sounds bad, but it gets worse because Penn State had 5 targets to receivers for 50 yards the whole game. Like, their receivers are not very good. Their best playmakers are their running backs, Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, and their Swiss Army knife tight end, Tyler Warren. And when it absolutely mattered, you outright refused to get them the football. Like, when you absolutely had to have it, you didn't get them the ball. The other thing I want to talk about from an Ohio State perspective, Ohio State, they came into this game banged up. They had a makeshift offensive line. You know, their star left tackle, Josh Simmons, he's out for the year. And they lost some more offensive linemen as well. So they had to move their starting left guard, Donovan Jackson, out to left tackle. He had never played left tackle before. And I thought for the most part he played well. But you have to give credit to offensive coordinator Chip Kelly. You know, I mean, Penn State, they knew that they were going to be aggressive. Ohio State knew Penn State was going to be really aggressive to try to take advantage of that offensive line with Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter is a stud. Yeah. Penn State's star edge rusher. Penn State always has stud edge rushers. And so, but what they did, Riley? And I thought this was genius. The one thing that a really, really, really hyper aggressive defense probably isn't gonna do. They're not gonna be disciplined.
Exactly.
You know what Ohio State did? They just ran the option.
Yep.
They ran. You saw that, right?
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, it was a good piece of their.
It was a good plan.
It was a great plan, dude.
Yeah, dude.
when you got a running back like Judkins too, man. It's like
Henderson.
Yep. I mean, they have just enough of the run power to really make you have to choose. And like when you have to pick who to stop in an option, you've already lost.
Exactly. And again, I don't think Penn State anticipated that. It looked because every play that they ran on the option, it was a chunk play.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how Ohio State got momentum to get back into the game. And then Chip Kelly, dude, I mean, it's crazy, dude, to think that Chip Kelly left us. Like, he was a head coach at UCLA. He left that. He didn't get fired. He chose to leave to go be an offensive coordinator at Ohio State because he was sick and tired of dealing with NIL and didn't want to do it anymore. So now he just gets to sit in his lab and just scheme up wide open plays to Emeka Egbuka. I mean,
that's one of the most dangerous dudes in the football world to just let him and Andy Reid. Those are two dudes you don't just want to let sit in a room alone thinking about football.
I know.
You don't want to let a mind like that do that. And you're right. It's definitely one of the keys to Ohio State's success this season is just, these crazy plays or these crazy schemes where you're just getting chunks. It feels like they create schemes that just start chunking
wide open.
Yeah.
But
also the option scheme that you were talking about, where it's like, all of a sudden they're chunking on options because they see that they have a hyper aggressive
Yeah. And that's a great game plan.
Yeah.
It's just simple. It's one of those things that it's just like, hey, let's just run the option. Let's see what happens. And it worked. The other thing from the Penn State side, your defense outscored your offense 7-6.
True.
This was your best chance to beat Ohio State because of their offensive line issues, because, I don't think Will Howard's a great quarterback. I think he's a good, serviceable quarterback, but he's not C.J. Stroud. He's not, Dwayne Haskins or even a Cardell Jones. He's a serviceable quarterback. It just felt like this was your best chance to finally beat them, and you still couldn't beat them. And now James Franklin falls to 1-10 against Ohio State and 3-18 against top 10 teams.
That is crazy.
Ooh. That's crazy.
Oh, man. Man can really get his work done against non-top 10s, though. Really does the work.
It's true. Penn State, they're still going to be fine because, we've talked about it before, dude. The 12-team playoff benefits nobody more than Penn State. Because if you go back to 2014, which was the inaugural playoff for the 4 team, Penn State with a 12-team would have been in 6 times. And, they're just – it's just kind of the story of James Franklin. He's always really good. He's just not quite good enough.
Yeah. For sure. When a push comes to shove, they get shoved over.
it's kind of like that old adage of, oh, you need 8 wins, he'll get you 10 wins. You need 12 wins, he'll get you 10 wins.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
dude.
All right. Any last thoughts for Ohio State, Penn State as we walk away?
Penn State had 207 yards of total offense. I mean, and you brought in Andy Kotelnicki to hopefully, finally change that. And it's still it's the same song, different verse. Like, dog, at a certain point, like, if you're a Penn State fan, I want to know, like, do you ever believe you're going to beat Ohio State? Because I don't think you are.
I think a lot of people don't think you are.
Yeah. Ugh.
All right.
Yep.
Really gave it to them. Yeah, we got to.
Ooh.
Got to go down to the 305. Dale.
The 305. Yeah.
Got to throw. Where is it? Come on. Give me the. I mean, this will probably have it in here. So as we go here, of course,
this is it. Yeah.
This game was insane. I mean, it started off with this. I mean, that's how this game started.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. And then, of course, you get Duke seeming like they wanted to actually play ball. I mean, Duke showed up. Not a bad squad here. I mean, not a bad squad from Duke, but they, for moments, seemed like they actually had this game. And then all of a sudden, Miami just put. I don't even know. They went into 7th gear. They found something that didn't exist previously, and just gave it to them. Because, I mean, they went, like you see right here in this clip, 28-17 in the third.
Mm-hmm.
Just real quick, 31-53 is the final score. Yeah. So from 7 minutes left in the third quarter, they went from 17 points to 53. Let's put it that way. I mean, that's insane. I mean, 36 points in 20 something minutes, like over a point a minute averaged out. These boys started putting up.
That's crazy, dude. I mean, Cam Ward threw 5 touchdowns. He had 1 interception. He threw for 400 yards. Like, I mean, we talked about Ashton Jeanty. Cam Ward is right up there, though, for the Heisman.
Cam Ward is. Yeah.
If they keep on winning, he's going to have a legit shot to win the Heisman. If they lose, like, I think Miami has to go undefeated in order for that to happen, because Miami hasn't played the toughest schedule. But, I mean, yeah, dude.
They look good.
Miami's one of those teams that they're always so hyped every single year, and you're just like, I don't believe it because I know it's Miami. But this year feels different.
It does. They have that electric.
Cam Ward.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Nah, man. It's definitely Cam Ward. He does. I mean, he has some crazy, crazy energy. I mean, that's really what it is. Like, coming out there, they do the best they can to just make the highlight reel, which is, sometimes a dangerous way to play. And I think sometimes historically that's been, the big issue with Miami teams is that they seem to be, highlight chasers and stuff like that. But this team with Cam Ward at the helm, they look like they're actually pretty legit. I mean, it's definitely not a fluke. I don't think you can say that at all.
No. I mean, Duke kind of gave this game away. I mean, they had 4 turnovers, and they blew that huge lead that they had in the third quarter. But, I mean, I thought it would be the funniest thing ever, because Duke, their head coach, Manny Diaz, he is the former head coach of Miami, and they
Yep.
fired Manny to go get Mario Cristobal. I thought it would be the funniest thing ever if Manny Diaz got revenge on the Hurricanes, and it looked like for a while it might happen. And then Miami just said, "Nah, fuck you. We're just way better. We're way more talented." And Duke, they didn't help themselves because they turned the ball over 4 times.
Yeah, no, they were like, all
If
right,
you're
we're
not-
done. Let's
Yeah.
play football. Let's play football. Yeah, dude. Malik Murphy started off pretty good for the Dukes. I mean, 3 interceptions and a lost fumble, though. Not how you want. That is losing football.
That is losing football, especially against a top 5 team with all that talent. No, you're not going to win that way.
Yeah.
Not going to win that.
You know, I mean, not like there's super crazy. The craziest difference between these two teams is that turnover differential.
Yeah.
I mean, Miami put up 100 more yards than they did.
Mm-hmm.
But considering the score line, that's actually not that crazy. 5 for 13 on third down out of Duke, 6 for 12 out of Miami.
Both
Obviously,
pretty
Miami
efficient.
a little bit better, but
Yeah.
yeah, relatively efficient.
Yep.
Both teams, 6 penalties for 60 yards out of Duke, 5 for 52 out of Miami. Not a lot of discipline, and time of possession is pretty similar with 28 to 31, only a 3-minute difference. Really, it comes down to 4 turnovers that the Duke Blue Devils had 4 turnovers, and the Miami Hurricanes only had 2. And I think that really makes the difference.
I agree, Riley. So any other thoughts on this one?
Nah, man. Hit it and quit it.
Yeah, dude.
Hit
Hit it and quit it. Let's go.
We spent a long time talking about old Penn State, Ohio State, and Florida, Georgia. So
yeah,
we're gonna hit the express train through the rest.
Nah, dude. I want to talk about another one, though. Well, I want to talk about 2 more games, kind of in detail.
Oh no, we're gonna talk about it, but
okay, I got you. All right,
we're going heavy.
You want to go South Carolina A&M?
Let's just cover this one. I mean, another.
Okay.
Just a one of the top 10 teams that actually made it out of this week. Might as well give them a little clout.
Sure.
Tennessee back on track against Kentucky. Not a great Kentucky team, but Tennessee, they showed back up. Dylan Sampson, 27 carries for 142 and 2 touchdowns.
He's a really, really, really good running back for them. He's a really great player.
He is. No, he's a great player. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really have much to say for that, but that's really the one that I wanted to get through.
Yeah.
And now
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Riley.
South Carolina Gamecocks versus the Texas A&M Aggies, number 10 Texas A&M Aggies. I know you have lots of hashtag copious notes, Dr. Preston.
I do. First of all, Riley, it seems that October came a little bit late this year.
It did.
It did, dude. We talked about it all year, dude. South Carolina, they probably should have beat LSU at home. They, we talked about, that game was kind of robbed from them, from the referees. They took Alabama right to the brink at home. In a different world, South Carolina is 7-1 right now. Yeah. And right in the thick of the SEC championship race. But dude, like we talked about it all year, bro. They're gonna get somebody. They're going to get somebody. Oh yeah. And I don't know, dude. When will teams learn that if you are a legit playoff contender and it gets to be November, don't play in Williams-Brice Stadium, especially at night, because it's not going to go well for you. You're a Clemson fan. You know that.
Yeah, no. Dangerous place. Dangerous.
They upset 2 top 10 teams 2 years ago at Williams-Brice in Tennessee and Clemson. And they get another top 10 team. I mean, This game was 20-20 at halftime, and South Carolina proceeded to go on a 24-0 run. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. It did not work out for UAM.
No,
I mean,
did not.
It did not. I mean, dude, South Carolina, their offense really came to play today, dude. Raheem Rocket Sanders, 20 carries, 144 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. He was also one of their leading receivers. He had 5 catches for 92 yards out of the backfield. That's almost 250 total all-purpose yards.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
And this team, one thing to say about South Carolina is them with Sellers versus not with Sellers, man. That dude is explosive. Yes. And he really makes this offense hum.
Yeah, dude. Like they're kind of a boom or bust offense. Like when they hit big plays, they really have a chance to beat you. But when they're not hitting the big plays, they're probably gonna lose. And Sellers, he wasn't very efficient, 13 of 27, but of those 13 completions, he had 244 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. And he also didn't turn the ball over. So I don't know, dude. This South Carolina team, they're now 5-3. They're 3-3 in the conference, but they could easily be 7-1 if a few more things go their way. Just a few.
Lenore Sellers staying healthy in a clutch situation. Couple different things, and you're right. But unfortunately for them, I mean, this year they have taken the hard lumps, but we knew that they were going to get someone.
Oh yeah,
and I'm almost thrilled that it was Texas A&M, to be honest. But in this week, like just with this week specifically and what happened, man, at least someone else caught the bug.
That's true. I mean, this was a great weekend if you're a South Carolina fan, because you get a huge top 10 win and Clemson loses. There's no better weekend if you're a South Carolina fan than that.
Also, I want to point this out too. So we were just talking about the 24-0 run that South Carolina went on.
Yeah.
I want to make it very clear that didn't start till 9 minutes left in the third quarter. So it was as a lot of scoring jam-packed into the end there.
The other thing, they just kind of went on a crazy run. Dude, South Carolina, we talked about it before, dude. They have one of the best defensive lines in the country, definitely in the SEC. Because they've got 2 great edge rushers. They've got Kyle Kennard and a 5-star true freshman in Dylan Stewart. Their defensive line causes problems for everyone. And it's a huge reason why why they've won 5 games and why they've been so competitive in a lot of these big games.
I mean, as we're watching their defensive line just feast here in these last moments of the game. That's a beautiful, beautiful timing, Dr. Preston.
I know, dude. But again, dude, in South Carolina, they were able to run the ball. They hit big plays. And that's just a poor tackle. Missed tackle. I mean, that's not how you win football games on the road, Riley.
No, sir.
No. The South Carolina team is spooky.
Yes, they are, man.
October came late this year.
Something that's really spooky is 286 rushing yards as a team. Yeah. Raheem Sanders with 144, Lenore Sellers with 106, highlighting his dual threat ability. You're right, not a very efficient passer, but his dual threat ability and the way that he can make a big play happen kind of balance that out. And, it's not great to rely on those things long term, but for a team that is currently 5-3, they are very dangerous because, like you said, when they start hitting big plays, when Darude Sandstorm is playing over and over again in that stadium, it's a hard place to play, man. It'll get everybody, or in this case, somebody.
It'll get somebody.
It'll get somebody. All right. Any last thoughts here?
Nah, dude. I'm really happy for Beamer Ball Jr. You know, they've played
sure.
so hard this year. They deserve it. They deserve a win like this.
They deserve a win like this. That is a fact, man. This team has played hard, and this is once again as a Clemson fan. You know, that's one where you're like, that team deserves it.
I know the
State,
game is. Yeah. Well, one more thing, Riley. I know the game is at Clemson this year, but are you terrified of this South Carolina team?
No, they already had their one, dude. We're good.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Okay. Also, it's not in Williams-Brice. So
that's fair.
Nah. Trying to keep confident here. I'm trying not to cry. Anyways, no, I'm just kidding. Before we get there, just to do good housework. Of course, you have Texas Tech beating Iowa State.
That's crazy, dude. The Big 12, they're all the same team. That's why that conference is full of parity. There's not one great team. They're just all kind of good teams.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the best team right now is obviously BYU, and I mean a very obvious BYU best.
Dude, Colorado might make the conference championship game.
Colorado should. One of the best teams. They're one of the best. But yeah, man, Texas Tech. And an absolute, like, to the end kind of nail-biter game, too. Very fun game to watch. Defensive battle, 23-22 the final score. Always love a weird scoreline, like 22 points.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always, like, it's a weird game when the final scoreline is 23-22. Like, someone's doing something weird in there.
Yeah.
All right. I don't really have much to say there, though. Just wanted to acknowledge that as we were going down the list.
Are you about to cry, Riley?
Oh, we're about to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about it.
I have some hashtag copious notes.
I expected it.
Yeah.
We have the Clemson Tigers versus Louisville Cardinals. Louisville Cardinals coming in this one's 5-3. They win 33-21 in Death Valley.
It's not the real Death Valley. We know that now.
Not this weekend. Not this week. And I think the highlight is obviously like the block kicks, 2 block kicks. Louisville,
block kicks.
One of the best in the country, if not the best in the country at blocking kicks this season.
That's awesome.
They knew it was going to be part of need to be part of their recipe. Let's all ignore the fact that 2 of their players jumped really early.
No, they didn't.
Oh, yeah. This homeboy right here, he's over the line.
Okay,
I watched that replay about 1,000 times.
Oh, my God, dude. Okay, who are you talking about? Does that just sound – they did not jump early, Riley. What are you talking about?
Look in the middle. He's over.
The ball is snapped.
I know. I'm just trying to have cope.
Dog. That is cope. Don't be a Jets fan.
No, I'm not. I'm a Clemson fan.
That is fucking cope, dude. Oh, my God.
But yeah, no, I mean, this team, very good at blocking kicks. I mean, they've got a formula, dude. That shit's crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, man. I mean, the thing was like, it was this is like one of the first teams that really came in and I mean, their offensive line really dominated, dude. Their offensive line did better. I mean, better than Georgia did, to be honest with you, man. Like their offensive line was like handling business most of the night, which is crazy because like obviously Clemson's defensive line is like one of its best pieces.
Yeah.
But then the thing really just comes to like.
So, to your point, Riley, do you know how many tackles for loss Clemson had all night?
How many?
3. And that's one of the best defensive lines in the country.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's kind of all you need to know about this game. Isaac Brown went off, dude. 20 carries, 151 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's a 7.5 average. Against a really good Clemson front seven.
Very good Clemson team. I mean, that's just, once again, that's just shouts to that line, dude. That line was, I mean, blocking outrageously all day for them.
Yes.
Ja'Cory Brooks, like I said, he's a great wide receiver. He made some big plays throughout the night. Tyler Show really didn't need to do much.
No. I mean, he
But
didn't play great. They were just able to run the ball and control the line of scrimmage. I mean, dude, Clemson scored late to make this look closer than it was, but Louisville really punked y'all.
yeah, and it's crazy. Like if you look at the stat line, it's like, what happened? You know? And really, it's just a whole lot of third 3 and outs, man. Like we had a couple drives that were good, but we had to kick field goals, or not kick field goals, but we just had like some bad some bad stretches down the end, some rough penalties that just put us in weird position, like chances where we had to kick field goals and they got blocked. Just a lot of the worst stuff. A lot of the worst momentum taking energy. And
I mean, so Clemson, they had 450 yards of total offense, but they ran 101
37
plays.
minutes. 37 minutes of possession.
They ran 101 plays, which if you average that out, that's 4.5 yards a play. That's not good. Like, they weren't very explosive.
Nah.
It just
But this team is, I mean, we are explosive, but the identity is to run it with the ground. I mean, Phil Maffa had 171. Granted, he had some cake on the end in garbage time, but throughout the whole game, he was pretty consistent.
yeah.
I mean, 30 carries to get there, though. That's the dinger.
I think a thing that people aren't going to talk about is just how much Louisville's defense stepped up. Like we know Jeff Brom, he's a great offensive mind. He's going to scheme up things, but Louisville's defense really stepped up. Like their defense played really, really well. And like you said,
bend don't break football.
Yeah, a lot of 3 and outs, like you said, for Clemson, and that's a credit to Louisville's defense.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, even when like I said, a lot of bend don't break football for them as well. So I mean, really just overall, a very good performance for Louisville, man. They came in fired up and Clemson came out flat. And I mean, they paid for it, dude.
The other thing that I'm gonna say, and this is just nitpicking, but it's Clemson, so I'm gonna do it. So you're down 13 in the fourth quarter. You've already had 2 kicks blocked, but yet you continue to send out your kicker, and you're not going for 2 to try to make it a 2-score game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think Dabo just got out coached this game.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, it was almost like the team just kind of gave up. And there was like, it was a lot, man. This was one of those games where it's like every time Clemson got some momentum, just something took it away. And old Uncle Mo is fickle and he is mean.
He is.
And they really paid this game. I mean, they paid for it.
They did. They absolutely did pay for it.
But it's one of those things where sometimes you need a swift kick in the nads. I knew this isn't a national championship winning Clemson team, a very good Clemson team. I was hoping that at least get to the playoffs to compete. But after this, unfortunately, a very low chance of that happening. Some absolute chaos is going to have to happen.
I mean,
most likely.
You're still going to make the playoff, I think.
Nah, not according to ESPN. After this loss, it's like a 9% chance of them making the playoff.
Really?
Yep.
You're still going to go to the ACC championship game?
Nope. SMU versus Miami. SMU's also undefeated still.
Oh, shit. That's right. Dude,
there.
If that does happen, the ACC would be known as the all-cocaine championship.
Yeah, dude. How many ponies can you get into one storm? Who knows? Damn.
Oh, dude.
That is the all-cocaine championship.
SMU did beat the shit out of Pitt yesterday.
They did. Now we'll get there.
We will get there.
Yeah, man. TJ Moore, though, good game out of the true freshman. Bryant Wesco finally back after injury. You can tell that they weren't trying to use him too much, though. The injury's still on their mind. You don't want to waste them.
No.
So, one of our more explosive pieces kind of limited a little bit. But all hat tips to Louisville, man. They just won this game. I mean, They wanted it. They wanted this win and they got it. And I really can't say anything other than that.
I mean, Riley, so you want to hear another fun fact?
All right.
I just love the Clemson fun facts this game.
Giggity.
So now do you know what Clemson's only win over a team with a winning record is?
What?
It's NC State.
NC State.
And NC State is, I think they're 5-4. It's not Clemson. They kind of beat up on a lot of bad teams.
Yeah.
And they hadn't really been tested. And now this is the worst. I mean, dude, this is the worst they've looked since Georgia.
For sure.
Louisville's a good team. They're not Georgia. I don't know.
I feel like we're the opposite of a bye week team. Like we're not that great coming off of a bye week. Like historically, like it's like some of our worst performances. We're there's a lot to it. But anything else before we move on?
Nah, man, I didn't think about that. You lost to the bye week.
Always, dude.
Always.
All right.
Yeah, man.
We have Indiana staying undefeated against Michigan State, 47-10.
Go, dude. Hey, so I do have something to tell you.
Okay.
I have some fun facts about this game as well. Some #copious notes. So Indiana, one of the craziest stats in college football this year is the fact that Indiana has not trailed at all. Like they've trailed like some of the fewest amount of minutes in all of college football.
I think they've not trailed at all this season.
Yeah, I think you're right. And Kurt Signetti.
Oh no, never mind. That's not true. This game.
No. It was going into this game.
Yeah,
going into this game. So Kurt Signetti said, "Fuck that. I'm tired of winning all the time. I want to lose a little bit.
I want to lose."
So they go down 10-0, and then they proceed to put up 47 unanswered points on Michigan State on the road.
Give it to Sparty.
I mean, and so you want to hear some big bub stats, Riley?
Big bub stats. Give them to me.
Indiana had 15 tackles for loss and 7 sacks.
Yo. Woo!
I'm not fucking with you.
I'm looking at it. Only 2 passes broken up. Why? Quarterback couldn't throw the ball.
Exactly. I mean,
wow, dude. That's a rough day, dude. That's a rough day to be a quarterback.
9
also,
Indiana.
Do you see this down here?
Yeah.
All these negative. What the heck happened, dude?
Dude, Kurt Signetti is not fucking around.
Why does one of their players have their backup quarterback has 4 rushes for negative 44 yards, dude?
I mean, those are sacks, but yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's crazy.
Kurt Signetti.
Why does Ryan Eckley, number 96, have 2 rushes for negative 21 yards? What is this?
I don't know, dude. That's Michigan State football for you.
What happened?
Dude, Kurt Signetti and 9 Windiana happened.
Dude, Windiana, baby.
Windiana, dude. 9 Windiana.
Yo, man. Potentially 10 Windiana. Let's look at the rest of their season here. They go to the Big House.
Yeah.
All right, the Big House comes and then they go to Ohio State.
Dude. I mean,
and then finish with Purdue.
I'm not saying Indiana's going to win that game, but they have a chance to go into Columbus and win that game.
They have a legit chance. I mean, if there's a team that's going to do it, dude, I think this might be it.
Kurt Signetti is not fucking around, dog. I've been trying to tell y'all. As someone who was coached against that man when he was at JMU, Kurt Signetti does not fuck around.
No, man, he doesn't. All right. But it's really I mean, it's such a kick-in. There's really not much more to say to that.
No.
We're moving on. Kansas State loses to Houston 24-19.
Again, the Big 12 is just a bunch of good teams that are all the same.
A bunch of the mid-good teams.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to SMU Pittsburgh. This was a big one.
Huge.
Real big one. SMU just handles Pittsburgh. I mean, it's only big because this keeps SMU in ACC title contention. This allows them to confidently stay in position to play at Charlotte, Bank of America Stadium. I mean, yeah, dude. 161 on the ground, 306 through the air. It's not even like they stopped Pittsburgh. I mean, the Pittsburgh's starting quarterback had 248 through the air, but he had a pick. It's really just this team just plays very consistent. Like SMU shows up and they give you a solid dose of a little bit of everything, and it works for them, man. It really does. I mean, it's a fun game plan to play for. Like you can line up any play, and it really could be everything.
Yeah. I mean, SMU, ever since they made the quarterback change from Preston Stone to Kevin Jennings, they've been rolling. They've looked really, really good. They're 5-0 in the conference, in the All Coast Conference, my personal favorite conference. And they're 8-1 overall. I mean, you're right, dude. SMU, unless they slip up, they're gonna play Miami in the ACC championship game.
Yeah, let's look at
Dude, the amount of cocaine that's going to be snorted for that game.
Oh my God, they've got Boston College, Virginia, and Cal. That's the rest of their schedule.
Yeah, they're going to go to the ACC championship game.
They're probably going to go to the ACC championship game.
Yeah,
as literally the bottom of the barrel. Look at this. Boston College, Virginia, and Cal, literally the bottom.
Well, look, Riley. Look who else is at the bottom of the ACC.
Virginia Tech.
No, you got to go. No, you got to go down a lot for. Yeah, there you go.
Florida State 1-7 finish in the ACC. That's something I want to talk about that real quick. Really, just to say it and look at it, because if I'm not, they are out. They are done. They finished 1-7 in the ACC. The only good thing that they could do right now is beat Notre Dame. Oh God, I want them to beat Notre Dame so bad.
That'd be hilarious.
You know how happy that would make me if they beat Notre Dame.
It's not going to happen, but it's
going to happen. I'm manifesting that into the world right now.
Oh, are you?
Florida State is going to beat Notre Dame. All right. Let's move on. We got a couple more games to try to get out of here because we got some NFL games to talk about before we get there. We got 10 minutes. Let's go fast. Ole Miss beats Arkansas 63-31. Like we said, you got Georgia coming into Oxford.
Yes.
This is a good warm-up game. This just shows you what this Ole Miss team is about. If you give them the ball too much, Jackson Dart will put up 515 yards and 6 touchdowns on forehead.
Without his best receiver, Trey Harris. We'll see if he gets back for the Georgia game. But
absolutely,
this Ole Miss team is fucking.
It's good.
If Carson Beck plays that way, dog, Ole Miss can get that upset.
They can. All right. We were talking about the discipline that it takes to make a football team. It's like you're running an army. Well, how about we talk about just actually running an army? Army versus Air Force, one of the various games in the Commanders Cup. Army absolutely rolls this one without their star, unbelievable athlete of a quarterback. They still get out there and get a big win. 20-3. That's a good one. Good one for Army. They've got a date with Notre Dame coming up as well. That's their big one. They play North Texas next week. Then they follow that up with Notre Dame. They have a bye week. Then they followed up with Notre Dame on Thanksgiving week. So, big game. Let's see if they can do what Navy couldn't. I actually think they have a better chance. I know we try to hype Navy, and Navy got absolutely smacked. But I do think Army has a better chance because I think their quarterback is just such a stud.
Yeah.
That Navy is they were just a great team leading into that game. I mean, still a great team. Obviously no longer ranked, but they're still a very good squad. It's still hard to beat them. But they don't have a player like Army does, like they have a quarterback with I can't remember his name, but we're good. And then you have Minnesota beating Illinois. No one
Minnesota's on a 4-game win streak.
That they are in conference, which is big.
Yeah,
that's always
big. And they just upset a good Illinois team. I don't think Illinois is great, but they're good. They're a good Big Ten team.
All right.
Yeah.
that's most of that slate. We're moving quick. Why?
You ready to go to the NFL, Riley?
We got to give our hashtag copious predictions.
We do.
All right, first one, we have Dallas at Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz. Maybe the site of a TTT event sometime in the future. Who knows? Keep your eyes peeled. While you're at it, subscribe. We're 2 away from 200 subscribers. Please do it for us. It would make me very happy.
Yes.
Dallas at Atlanta. Who do you got?
Dog, it's the Cowboys on the road, man. I'm going the Falcons.
Absolutely. 1 p.m. Kirko Thuggins, dude. We got to go with them, dude. It's Atlanta.
It's true.
We have Miami at Buffalo.
This is
someone gonna die in this game? That's my question.
That's fucked. I've been going back and forth about this game all week, dude. Like,
I have too.
This is really Miami's season is on the line. If Miami wants any chance to make a late playoff push, they have to win this game because Buffalo is already, they already won the earlier game, but it's Miami going to Buffalo. Like,
yeah,
I just think Buffalo wins. It's cold, man. Mike McDaniel does, in fact, not want it colder, despite what he says.
I'm so curious. All right, it's going to be like mid-50s. Cold for Miami, but,
it's
not that bad of a game. Not that cold for Buffalo. All right, so you're going with Buffalo?
I'm going with Buffalo, yeah.
I'm going to go with Miami, man. Mainly just because I want the good feelings out there for Mike McDaniel, dude. I like him as a coach. I like this team. And you're right. They need a win to get them back on track. And maybe this is it. Maybe. Las Vegas at Cincinnati. I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one, man. I think Joe Shiesty, they need a refocus game. They're probably not going to be able to do much with this season the way it stands right now. But you don't want to lose all hope and momentum. And if you want to go watch that game, tickets as low as $49. That should tell you the quality of game we're talking about.
I mean, dude, the Bengals, they're 0-4 at home. That's crazy. I do think the Bengals are going to win just because I love Joe Burrow. You know how much I love Joe Burrow. Yep. But the Raiders are fully capable of going in there and winning. Would I be shocked if they went in there and won and essentially ended the Bengals season? I would not, but I'm picking the Bengals.
I agree. We have the Chargers versus the Browns at Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland.
This is low-key one of the better games.
For sure. With Jameis now in the lineup for the Browns, that's a team that has been reinvigorized. They have new energy around them. Jameis is such an exciting player. I'm going to go with the Chargers.
I don't know, dude. I think I'm going to go with the Browns just because famous Jameis, dude. Famous Jameis crab legs on full display.
Honestly, I believe in you more. I just have J.K. Dobbins on my fantasy team, and I need a win. Let's go, Chargers.
I like that. I mean, the Browns, they do have a good run defense, so we'll see. But I'm picking the Browns at home. The Browns have talent. Their problem is quarterback.
Yeah, dude. And now they've got the greatest solution. Injury.
Right. This might be the toilet bowl of the year, right here.
This is New England at Tennessee. It doesn't matter who wins.
No.
I'm gonna say New England.
I'm gonna say New England too.
All right, cool. We're moving on. There's no point in even talking about it. We have Washington at New York Giants.
The Giants have a chance to do the funniest fucking thing.
Beat us with only field goals?
Yeah.
That would be pretty funny.
That would be pretty funny. I'm going the Commanders.
Washington. Yeah, I'm going Commanders, dude. It's got to be the Commanders.
Dude,
we got to take command of this game.
The Slim Reaper, dude. He's got Washington energized now. Jaden Daniels.
Dude, we look like a different team. We're finally on a week where the injury bug isn't as prominent.
True.
So, it's interesting to see. All right, we have the Saints at the Panthers. Bank of America is the host for this one. Tickets as low as $15 if you want to go see that one.
That's crazy.
I got to take the Saints, even though they're a dumpster fire. So are the Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers are more of a dumpster fire.
True.
Yeah. I expect Alvin Kamara to run wild in this game because the Panthers have one of the worst rush defenses in all of football. And I just think the Saints they've just got too much talent, dude. The Saints are they're just better than the Panthers. The Panthers are awful.
All right. We have the Denver Broncos at the Baltimore Ravens. This is M&T Bank Stadium Classic.
Yep.
I've got to take the Ravens in this one. Obviously, they had a heartbreaker last week to the Browns. I don't think Harbaugh is going to let Sean Payton come in and give him a second one.
No. Ravens. The Ravens are playing really, really, really good football right now.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Ravens.
Last week, they just caught a little bit of that new quarterback cheese. It's a hard thing to beat. We have Jacksonville Jaguars at the Philadelphia Eagles. It's in the link.
It is in the link.
I think it's probably going to be the Eagles in this one.
I agree. I'm taking the Eagles. The Jaguars are not a very good football team right now. Their best receiver, Christian Kirk, or one of their best receivers, is now out for the year.
Yep.
The Eagles are just a better team, and I know how much you love Trevor, but
now listen, dude, that's a team that's just reeling right now in the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, we have the Chicago Bears at the Arizona Cardinals. This is a very interesting game. I think this is one of the more evenly matched games of the week.
I agree.
Obviously, the Bears not doing that bad, despite Caleb Williams at quarterback, which is crazy.
It's true.
I'm just for the sake of our boy Jack Lee, I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Marvin Harrison Jr. effect is going to take over this game.
That's fair. I mean, dude, is Tyreek Stevenson going to fucking start jawing at fans and not pay attention during critical plays again? Because, dude, that'd be fucking hilarious. Like, I'm taking the Cardinals just because I don't trust the Bears. I don't trust Matt Eberflus, and I definitely don't trust Caleb Williams against, not shit defenses. And I think the Cardinals are a better team. I'm taking the Cardinals.
All right, we have one of the biggest games of the day. The Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. This one's an absolute juggernaut fest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with the Lions here, but this one is going to be sketchy as it is in Lambeau. Green Bay's home and heart. So,
Jordan Love, I think he's going to play. He's been kind of listed as questionable throughout the week, but I think he's going to play. Yeah. I don't know, man. The Lions are a juggernaut right now.
Hard to beat.
I know it's on the road, but still, the Lions are a juggernaut. I'm taking the Lions on the road.
All right, we have the Rams at the Seattle Seahawks. This is one where it's like it's hard to choose because there's what? I don't want to pick. Neither of these teams are that good. I don't know.
One's good. They've just been ravaged by injury.
Yeah, for sure. Two middling teams right now.
Yeah.
But with the recent reintroduction of Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, I think the Rams are going to be the dangerous team here.
I agree. I echo everything you just said. Give me the Rams on the road.
And we got the Colts at Minnesota to play the Vikings. I'm going to take the Vikings, no doubt, in this one. That's a great team. And the Colts, not so much.
I don't know, dude. I think I'm going to take the Colts on the road because the Vikings, I think they might be turning into pumpkins.
You think Midnight struck?
Yeah, dude. I think Midnight struck. And especially because you know how I feel about Anthony Richardson. And now Joe Flacco has been named the starter. And, dude, the Colts are going to start playing like an elite team, dude. I mean, Anthony Richardson quit on his team. And I think that
he didn't quit. He got tired on his team.
He did get tired on his team. That's true. But I think putting in Joe Flacco is going to give this team new life. And I think they go on the road, and I think they get the win.
All right, last game, Tampa Bay at Kansas City. I mean, it's going to be the Chiefs, dude. I think it's got to be the Chiefs. They keep finding a way to win.
The Bucs have been ravaged by injury. We've talked about it. Give me the Chiefs, dude. I think the Chiefs stay undefeated. If the Bucs were healthy, like fully healthy, I would give them a real shot.
A real shot, yeah. I agree.
They're not healthy, and that's
the injury bug. It's the hardest thing about playing football, dude. Being a football coach, having to deal with injuries is your hardest thing.
It is.
All right. This has been a great episode. Everybody out there, please, if you're listening to me, subscribe. We're so close. We got some sick stuff coming. Tune in later tonight for the late night TTT late night Sunday wrap up.
Yes.
We're going to go for now. This has been a great episode. Thank you, everybody, for chatting. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around. Watch us again.
Appreciate it.
Like, comment, subscribe. We got to get out of here, y'all. Peace. Boom.